Nam Burke, the 40-year anniversary of the designated hitter. Who loves it? Well, we have a former hitter in Doug Glanville and a former pitcher, Mark Mulder, Keith Law as well, to offer up his insights. Plus, a bases-clearing brawl. What happened and who was at fault in the Tigers and the White Sox? We'll get to that in just a second. But first, it is the return of the captain, Derek Jeter, making his return to the Yankees after breaking his ankle during Game 1 of the ALCS last October, running around during warm-ups before the game. And this is how the crowd at Yankee Stadium welcomed him back. Refreshing sight, even if you're not a Yankees fan. Jeter's customary taped introduction, but the late Bob Shepard did not play, by the way, due to technical difficulties. First pitch, he swings. A soft tapper to third. Miguel Tejada cannot make the play. Jeter saved an infield single. Doug, how do you look to you?
Well, you know, this is a true test, running down that line. So he was way inside the grass, but drew the straight line. And you always know if you hit the base with the same foot each time, that's when your stride is right.
The Yankee scoreboard does not lie. Jeter's hitting 1,000. Next batter going in the pitch. Robinson Cano up the middle. Jeter goes to third in the hit and run. Once again, Mark looking good.
Well, he leaves first base, and you can see he has to stutter step because this ball maybe gets through, and it ends up getting through. So he stutter steps real quick and makes the turn and looked all right.
Next batter is Vernon Wells. And Wells will fly out to right, so Jeter tags up and scores in the sac fly. Can't write a better script than that, Keith.
No, you know, we look good on the bases here. I feel like he'll be able to contribute with the bat. The bigger test is when he finally has to take the field, and we see how he reacts when he has to move laterally on that ankle.
Bottom of the second, Jeter's second at bat, chopper to third. Tejada will throw him out this time routinely. Then in the bottom of the fifth, it's Jeter's third at bat. A sharp ground to the right side, Johnny Giavotella. We'll see you later on Web Gems. Nice diving stuff to get out the out. It was on this play Jeter felt tightness in his quad.
You know, he had a tough test. I mean, look, first inning he had to go run down the line, first to third, sac fly, a lot of ground balls. I mean, it's a different gear when you're in the major league level versus rehab.
Bottom of the sixth, Yankees up 7-4. Jeter's fourth at bat. The hard bounce to the short gets knocked down. He's thrown out at first as the run scores. So the Yankees win this one 8-4. 16 runs in their last two games. They had 3 runs in their previous 3 games. You used to seeing Jeter as a perennial all-star. He's not going to be there this year, but Freddie Freeman is. He wins that coveted final slot there when it comes to the All-Star fan vote in the National League. Freeman's hitting over 300. Had himself an excellent day on Thursday. We'll get to those highlights momentarily. But Freeman's gain is the loss to Yasiel Puig as he gets edged out. Freeman, 19.7 million votes. Puig, 15.5 million. Is that a surprise, Keith?
It's a little bit of a surprise just because there was so much publicity behind Puig, so much hype, and the performance in the month or so he was in the big leagues was so outrageous that I thought he would end up winning the popularity contest. But that said, Freeman's a very deserving candidate. He's having a great half season. He's had several good seasons before this. He's got more of a track record, too. There was some criticism. Will does Puig belong there when he hasn't even played a half season in the big leagues? Freeman has that track record. He's more of an established big leaguer, and I think he's a very worthy choice.
But track record isn't supposed to count when it comes to the All-Star game. So the Puig fans will say, hey, this sample size, he's been better.
Well, yeah, but Freeman, I think, is more deserving. He's played the entire season. All of his, not all, but the majority of his numbers are a tad bit better than Puig. Now, granted, he's played probably double the games, but I just feel that the fans got it right. I know Puig was the great story. It was the thing we've been talking about the most. But, you know, Freeman, those Atlanta fans went crazy, and good for them. They voted a lot.
Well, look, I talked to Chipper Jones a couple years ago, and he was excited about this new wave of young players, very comfortable in passing the torch to Freddie Freeman. I mean, he wants to be a star. He is game on. This guy's hitting like 370 with 2 outs or runners in scoring position. And keep in mind, offensively, he's kind of carried this team. They've been very inconsistent. Upton brothers have struggled. Hayward, you know, Ugla. All these guys have been so invisible at times, and he's been consistent throughout. And this is a first-place team. So, I mean, I think he's a key cog for Atlanta and one of the prime players in that division. So, well.
All right, all you sports fans out there, it's you, the individual, the Tubosphere. Thanks for watching the sports clips that we brought you here at the OMSR. We are now going into the talk radio version, Gen 3.0. I am your host, Will, the alternative ESPN Sports Thrill. Yes, the clips are over. Sorry, it's not a bait and switch type deal. Most of you probably turned the channel off already. Just kidding. If you want to get involved, vis-a-vis comments, just be respectful to your fellow tubers and the show. We're able to bring you more clips than you otherwise would get because we abide by what's called the DMCA, Digital Millennium Copyright Act. It covers a fair use standard, minimal use, and derivatives. So the aforementioned clips, courtesy to ESPN and Major League Baseball, copyright as well. All the other original clips and the overall concept, all the original content, copyright to the one-man sports rant. All right, so talk radio-wise, sports subject-wise, and you know where you were based on the title, because this is the same baseline show for, I believe this is 3 parts, or 4 parts we're doing. The voting for the All-Star game, Derek Jeter returning, teams doing well, dude pitching at Tampa Bay, the parts 3 and 4. The designated hitter rule, broke that up into a couple parts, you know, because of the aforementioned DMCA. I mean, in other words, a Good Ship Sports Club Lollipop on YouTube is sold. You can't just, well, you can, but it's not advisable in the sense of you can put up like a 10-minute bit of a 30-minute sporting event on your channel. Yeah, we wouldn't suggest that. We don't even show 10 minutes worth of stuff, and we have 4 to 5 of our own, so that's the way it's got to be with the DMCA. There has to be an amalgamation of your own original content when you're going to go out there and borrow others, and just giving courtesy to with our little itty-bitty ditty, musical ditties, intros, and so forth. It doesn't cut it. There still has to be within the legality of it. All right, back to the sports talk. With regard to baseball, so this was all MLB All-Star game coming up this weekend, so I thought I'd cover, midweek before the weekend, as it were, midweek on a Thursday. There was a lot of stuff going on. And dumb luck will happen to run across today, that being Thursday, July 11th. So, we'll wait and see after the All-Star game, all the activities. We'll be covering a lot of baseball coming up. All right. Thanks for watching. Later days. More signature plays. No silly DUIs.